slimmer than any Galaxy phone before, and yet comes with a massive 200 megapixels main camera. That's exactly what the upcoming Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge promises to deliver. But if you've been waiting for its big launch this April, there's been a sudden change in plans. Samsung has officially postponed the release of the Galaxy S25 Edge. The launch was originally set for April 2025, but reports now confirm that the release is pushed to May. The good news is we already have a pretty clear idea of what to expect and when. According to a report by FN News, Samsung will hold a Galaxy Unpacked event on May 13, where it will announce all the key details, colors, pricing, and full specifications of the Galaxy S25 Edge. Right after that, pre-orders will begin on May 14 and stay open until May 20. If everything goes as planned, Samsung will officially release the phone on May 23 in South Korea and China, followed by a launch in the United States on May 30. Other global markets will receive it later. So why all the excitement around this phone? The Galaxy S25 Edge is expected to be Samsung's thinnest smartphone ever. Reports say it will be between 5.8 millimeters and 6.4 millimeters thick. That's incredibly thin, especially when you compare it to most modern phones that usually measure around 7 to 8 millimeters. Not only that, but it's also going to be very lightweight, which could make it easier to hold and carry. With more people now looking for phones that don't feel bulky or heavy, Samsung seems to be tapping into a growing demand for sleek and slim designs. However, to achieve this level of thinness, Samsung reportedly had to remove the telephoto camera from the phone. That might disappoint some people who use zoom features regularly. But to make up for it, the Galaxy S25 Edge will come with a 200 megapixels main camera, which is still a big deal in terms of photo quality. And then there's the price. According to leaks, the 256 gigabytes version of the Galaxy S25 Edge will cost 1.5 million Korean won, which is about 1,049 US dollars. The 512 gigabytes version could be priced at 1.63 million Korean won, or around 1,140 US dollars. These prices put it in the premium smartphone category, but it's still a bit more affordable than some other flagship models from Samsung and Apple. Interestingly, the Galaxy S25 Edge was first seen back in January 2025 during the original Galaxy Unpacked event, alongside the Galaxy S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra. But back then, Samsung didn't give much information. Now, with an event scheduled and leaks confirming the new timeline, things are finally starting to look more certain. So why is Samsung so focused on thinness this time? It's all about staying ahead in the market. More users now prefer phones that feel lighter, thinner, and easier to handle. Samsung likely wants to offer something that stands out from the crowd, especially as other brands also begin chasing similar design trends. In short, the Galaxy S25 Edge looks like it will be a stylish, thin, and high-performance phone with a big focus on camera and design. Are we getting too obsessed with thinness when it comes to smartphones? That's the question many people are starting to ask after hearing rumors about the upcoming iPhone 17 Air. Apple is pushing the boundaries with a new design that's so thin it could redefine the iPhone lineup. But here's the thing, how much thinner can they really go before it becomes a problem? The iPhone 17 Air is rumored to be just 5.5 millimeters thick. Yes, you read that right, just 5.5 millimeters. That's thinner than some of the wallets we carry around and definitely much slimmer than the usual iPhones we've seen over the years. For comparison, the iPhone 17 Pro models are expected to be around 8.7 millimeters thick, which is already considered pretty sleek. So you can see just how drastic this change might be. Tech YouTuber Louis Hilsentigger, known for his channel Unbox Therapy, recently shared his thoughts on the new dummy models of this ultra-thin iPhone. He was visibly stunned by how slim the device looked, but he also expressed concern. After all, of all this extra slimness, there's a real risk that the iPhone could bend easily, something that Apple definitely doesn't want. This concern isn't unfounded. Anyone who remembers Bendgate from 2014 knows that a thinner iPhone can sometimes lead to serious issues. The iPhone 6 Plus, which was the first iPhone to come in a larger size, faced major backlash after it was found to bend when placed under pressure. And if you didn't know, Louis was actually the one who showed the world how easy it was to bend the iPhone 6 Plus, sparking a huge debate. So it's not surprising that he's cautious about this new Model 2. But Apple seems to be learning from its past mistakes. According to recent leaks, the iPhone 17 Air will use a combination of titanium and aluminum for its frame, providing extra strength to keep the phone from bending, even with its thinner design. The idea is to keep the phone looking sleek while still making sure it's durable enough for daily use. It's a tough balance, but Apple might just pull it off. Another key change with this new model is the display size. Initially, Apple was rumored to include a massive 6.9-inch screen on the iPhone 17 Air, similar to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. However, reports now suggest that the company is scaling that back to 6.6 inches. Why? It turns out that larger screens, while visually appealing, can increase the risk of bending. By reducing the size of the display, Apple is hoping to make the device more durable without sacrificing the overall design. Now, the big question is, how will all this affect the battery life? A thinner phone might sound exciting, but it could also mean less room for a decent-sized battery. And we all know that a smaller battery could lead to shorter usage times, which is a huge downside. But Apple seems to have thought ahead. To make space for a larger battery, the iPhone 17 Air will reportedly drop some of the extra camera lenses found on the Pro models. While the camera setup may not be as advanced as the iPhone 17 Pros, it should still deliver solid performance without draining the battery too quickly. Moreover, Apple is introducing a new in-house modem chip called the C1, which is designed to be more efficient. Combined with improved software optimization, the iPhone 17 Air's battery life is expected to be on par with what we see in current iPhones, even with a smaller battery. So it seems like Apple is trying to give users a phone that's thin, powerful, and efficient, all at the same time. What do you think about the idea of an ultra-thin iPhone? Would you trade some features for a sleeker design, or do you think Apple is pushing it too far? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this update, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more news on the latest iPhone leaks and tech updates. What if Apple's first foldable iPhone ends up shaking the entire smartphone market? That may sound bold, but recent reports suggest Apple is finally serious about foldables. And here's what's surprising. Samsung Display will be the only company supplying the OLED screens for this much-anticipated device. Apple had other options like LG Display and BOE from China, but they've reportedly gone all in with Samsung. Even though they compete in the smartphone world, Apple still leans on Samsung when it comes to high-end displays. This update lines up with what analyst Jeff Pugh mentioned earlier. Apple and Samsung had already reached an agreement. While Samsung continues to dominate the foldable phone market, they're also playing a crucial role in helping Apple create a strong competitor. So it's a strange mix of rivalry and partnership. Now let's talk about what the iPhone Fold might actually look like. A popular source from China known as Digital Chat Station shared some interesting details on Weibo. The main screen inside is said to be around 7.76 inches with a resolution of 1920 by 2713 pixels, which gives it a pixel density of 428 ppi. For comparison, the iPhone 16 Pro Max offers a sharper 460 ppi, but the difference might be hard to notice in everyday use. That's still a very crisp screen by any standard. When the phone is folded, the smaller outside screen will still pack a punch. It's expected to measure 5.4 inches and have a resolution of 1422 by 2088 pixels, matching the pixel density of the iPhone 13 mini. This should make the folded phone feel compact and easy to carry, while still giving users a solid display to check notifications, respond to messages, or even take photos. Speaking of cameras, the foldable iPhone could feature an under-display camera on the main screen, making video calls and selfies possible without a visible lens. On the outside screen, there'll likely be a hole punch camera instead. So depending on how you're using the phone, open or folded, you'll still be able to snap selfies or join video calls without any compromise. Apple is reportedly trying to fix one of the biggest problems with current foldable phones, the crease. You know, that line that forms right in the middle of the display after repeated use. Apple's goal is to reduce it as much as possible, maybe even eliminate it altogether. This could give the iPhone Fold a smoother and more durable display than anything else on the market. Now let's talk about the part that will make or break this phone for a lot of people, the price. Reports suggest the iPhone Fold could launch with a price tag close to $2,000 United States dollars. That would make it Apple's most expensive iPhone ever, beating even their Pro Max models. And yes, it's even pricier than Samsung's current foldables. So this is clearly going to be a high-end product aimed at users who want the newest and most advanced features. But here's where things get even more interesting. Even though Samsung is building the displays, Apple entering the foldable space could seriously affect Samsung's own phone sales. Samsung currently owns around 40% of the foldable smartphone market worldwide, but that share has been slipping lately, especially with more Chinese brands making foldables at lower prices. Now that Apple is preparing to launch its own foldable phone, Samsung may start feeling even more pressure. It's an odd situation when you think about it. On one side, Samsung helps Apple bring this product to life. On the other, they might lose customers to that very same product. That's the kind of competitive twist you don't see every day. All this tells us one thing: Apple isn't just testing a new idea, By choosing Samsung as their only display supplier and working on features like crease reduction and under-display cameras, they're clearly putting real effort into making this foldable phone a success. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this update helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tech updates.